Hello guys, and welcome to the first part of the fiber growth chapter, and let's dig into it. So let's create a geometry, round and black as usual. So let's call this fiber growth and let's dive into it. So first we need to place the main lines. So that's pretty simple. You can use your ways to do it. I use a simple pop solver with a trail node. I think that's the simplest approach to get something that looks pretty cool. So let's get a sphere here. Let's make it small, 0.1. Polygon. Let's make a pop network. So we will scatter points onto it. So let's dive into the network. Let's get a wind force. So pop wind. Amplitude 1. And we only want to emit points on the first frame. So birth. Let's get rid of constant activation and constant birth rate. Let's get an impulse count to maybe 5. And the impulse activation is dollar floating frame equals 1. So we only emit on the first frame. So let's get a trail node here. Let's go evaluate within frame range. Let's make trail length 240. Connect as polygon and don't check the close rows here, and we will get these lines. So the cool thing is now we can play here with the wind force. So let's go them a little bit upwards, and let's decrease the amplitude to maybe 0.5. So we will get something like this. So let it grow. Yeah. Let's get a little bit more amplitude. So maybe 0.5. Yeah, I think that looks better. And let's get a null node and call it in main lines. Cool. Let's get a resample here and let's make them a little bit smoother. So treat up as subdivision curves. So let's get something like this, and let's get another resample here, 0.01, just to get them from this to this a little bit more smoother. Let's freeze it, so let's bake it in. And now let's start with a null. Let's get here in, and let's call it input lines. So you can change this later, it's fully procedural, but this will be the main lines. So let's get a remove attribute, attrib remove, or attribute delete, yeah, attribute delete, and let's delete all attributes here, because here we will get some age, ID, and so on, and we don't need this. So we only need, and let's delete them as well. So we only need the point and the groups. Yeah, let's just stick the groups in. And we will need our first loop. So for each connected piece. So this will go over each main wire here. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice. Let's color this in red, because why not? So now in this whole big loop here, this will be not so big, but pretty big. We will get some stuff here. Let's get a circle. we will get the circle as a polygon, and this number here will determine how many wire threads we will get. You will see what I mean in just a few minutes. So let's get this down, this circle here, a little bit more smaller. So we will end up with something like this. Let's get a resample here. And let's resample this curve to a pretty good amount of points. So let's have a look here on the points, that's way too less. So let's get 0.01 and add a length, and let's get a sweep here. Let's go with this in the backbone and this into the cross section, and we will get something like this. That's pretty cool. So now we need to get an ID, because we only want to get the lines. We now have geometry and primitives and we don't want them. We only want the lines. The lines we can get with an add, but with the add we need a ptnum or an ID function, and let's get this in here. So let's press an wrangle here and let's call it ID. Let's make an integer add ID equals add ptnum. That's everything. So now we get an ID attribute here from 0 to 11. Let's pipe this in, and you will see what it does in a short amount of time. Now we got here on every circle, let's visualize that. We got on every circle the ID attribute, but it's always the same. So let's go maybe to marker. Yeah, it's always the same. So 10 right here, 11 right here, 9, 8, 7, all the way down. So the cool thing is now we can get let's get a reverse, just to reverse them, and we've got these we've got the normals like here, but I want to get the normals to a custom attribute. So we will get add n, so add the normals equals add n. That's just to write the normals onto the points, so nothing special. So let's just now get, I need to look this up here because, yeah, transform using attributes. We need to get skin output, skin enclosed. Yeah, that's better. So we need to get the normals here pointing outwards, and yeah, we can get a group, but we don't need it. So let's reverse it. So the normals point outwards, and now we make the normals from vertex to points. So add n equals add n, and we will make a little other expression here, v add displace. So we will make a custom attribute here equals add n. So we will get another vector that's same as the normal vector, and let's just call it displace. So let's call this displace and n. Now let's get an add here, and with the add we can make the lines. Go to polygons, by group, by attribute, and type in ID. Let's remove the delete geometry but keep the points, and we'll get the lines here. So that's pretty much it for the first iteration. Now we need to resample it. So something like 0.05, I think that should be enough, or maybe a little bit more. Let's get it out, and through the loop we will get all of them. Let's rearrange this here, and we will have our basic state for the wires. The cool thing is now you can play here with the uniform scale or the radius, and with this number here you can play around to get more fibers into one fiber string. So let's call this here out base, and I will see you in the next lesson.